These wood people in this room. Get this light going again.
Wait.
Oh shoot.
Charleston, South Carolina, is a location that is rich in history, but also tragedy. Founded in 1670, Charleston was originally named Charlestown, honoring King Charles II of England, but was later renamed. Many people have walked these streets to include pirates, vandals, and murderers. The first shots of the Civil War were fired here at Fort Sumter. Today, our journey brings us to Charleston to investigate one particular location that held a lot of early Charleston criminals, the old city jail.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Haunted Urbex, where today we are on the East Coast. We are here in Charleston, South Carolina to investigate the most haunted location here in Charleston, South Carolina, the old city jail. While the jail was open, it is reported that 14,000 people died at that location, and it housed the most notable prisoner, which was also known as the first female serial killer in the United States, Mrs. Lavinia Fisher. So tonight, myself, Melissa, and my brother, we are going to go in there and investigate that location and see if we can run into any of the prisoners that may still reside there, and or run into Miss Lavinia Fisher herself. So stay tuned to this episode of Haunted Urbex. What's going on, everybody? So we're here at the old city jail. We're about to go in here and investigate it to see what we can run into, see if we can potentially run into Mrs. Lavinia Fisher, who was jailed here and executed here along with her husband, and also 14,000 confirmed deaths have happened within the walls of this structure. So we're going to go in here and investigate. We have all of our gear and a Connect SLS cam to see if we can catch anything. So let's go in here and see what we got.
The old Charleston jail, constructed in 1602 and was operational to 1939, housed Charleston's most infamous criminals. The jail was originally constructed with 4 floors, that is until an earthquake in 1886 damaged the top floor, which caused the floor to be removed. The jail has housed many of Charleston's prisoners, ranging from petty crimes to piracy. It is said that underneath the jail, thousands of bodies are also buried.
Alright guys, so we just got done doing the tour with the tour guide. Now we're going to go and start venturing through. I think the first place we want to go to is the kitchen, right?
Okay.
Yeah, let's go to the kitchen where there's a little girl by the name of
Bridget
that inhabits in there. And there's an evil lady that likes to inhabit in there too. So we're going to go in there, we're going to set up the SLS camera, see if we capture anything. Melissa's going to ask a couple of questions and we're going to see if we get anything. So let's head that way.
Alright.
The first stop on our investigation is the kitchen. The kitchen is said to be haunted by the spirits of little girls that were forced to work there to earn their keep. The little girls were the daughters of the females imprisoned upstairs. One particular spirit that likes to inhabit the kitchen is the spirit of Bridget, who loves to play hide and seek and is particularly attracted to mothers as she can feel their nurturing presence.
Let's up over here in the corner.
Do you want to close the door?
Yeah.
Alright.
don't think it's gonna stay closed.
No, if reading the sign behind it just in case it said anything important.
It's not gonna stay closed.
That's good enough. That's good enough. Okay. We're gonna put it out right there, or are we just gonna put it
Yeah,
facing
right
this
here,
way?
it's facing that way. So if you want to walk over there and start asking questions.
Okay. So, there's supposed to be a little girl named Bridget in here. Single mothers and pregnant women were housed on what used to be the 4th floor before it collapsed. You can see right there where part of the collapse was. So Bridget would have been the daughter of one of the incarcerated women, and she would be down here earning her keep in the kitchen. So apparently she likes to play hide and seek, and she likes to talk to moms. So I'm going to see if I can get her to talk to me. Okay. Bridget, are you here? I wanted to come say hi to you.
So right now there's 3 of us in here. Myself, my brother, and then Melissa's over there. She's trying to communicate with Bridget here in the kitchen. We got the SOS running right now. I don't see anything on it yet. I just see Melissa walking around. If she comes closer, Melissa, if you come closer, you'll see her stick figure pop up on the cam. So,
Am I on it?
yeah, you're on there.
Okay.
So if you go like much further back here, you won't show up.
How far? Let's see how far it goes.
Right there.
Okay?
So come forward to me. Right there.
Okay. Alright.
So if anything else pops up on this screen, it's going to be something else that's in this room. Because like I said, Melissa's the only one who's over there. I'm right here, and we have my brother who's operating the camera. So we're going to see what we can capture.
Okay. That was a voice from outside. Are you in here with us, Bridget? I have a little girl too. She's about 11 years old. You know what? I'm going to put the recorder on while I do this.
Yeah. Go ahead and take the recorder up. You want to try the portal?
What?
We want to try the portal?
No. I'm going to try EVP session first.
You know, you said a portal, I thought you meant that room.
Me too.
I was gonna say.
Oh, I'm going in there.
I'm not going in there.
You'll go in there by yourself.
Yeah, well.
No, she said don't go in there by yourself.
She said humor her.
Now, I always ask mediums and psychics why I hate this room. And they say it's because somebody came in when the building was abandoned and opened a portal and didn't close it. Because they were stupid and they didn't know what they were doing. So I ask that you do not come into this room by yourself. Please humor me. Why? Because I've had multiple mediums tell me that they're waiting for somebody to walk in on their own and they're gonna attach. So.
She didn't say it was forbidden.
Whatever, have fun.
Okay, so let's see here.
I'm gonna stop recording for a second.
Okay. All right. So Bridget, I'm sure you've seen one of these before. This is it's a little box that if you talk into it and I play it back, it can capture your voice and I'll be able to hear you. So if I ask you a question, you can answer it right there and I'll be able to hear you, okay? So, I have a little girl at home. She's 11. I'm sure it's very different from how you grew up here.
At this point, Melissa pulls out her cell phone to take a couple of photos to see if she may be able to capture Bridget in any of them.
Alright, so what I'm using right now, I got the SP7 right here. I'm trying to get it to sweep.
Want to get closer to the recorder?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not really that loud.
No, it's not that loud, is it? Okay, well, we can listen back, so.
Can't really hear anything, I think. You know, it's stupid.
Bridget, can you come through on this?
No, I'm not gonna use it.
I'm going to put it next to the recorder. Okay, look, listen to it. Do you think you can come through this for us? Try to use the noise to make a word. Can you tell us how old you were? Can you tell us your name? Can you say your name on that? What was your mommy's name? How many years did you stay here? What kind of things did you do in the kitchen? Did you play? Bridget, do you know how to play Ring Around the Rosie? Pocket full of what?
So we're going to check the footage back once we get done investigating this place. Right now we're going to make our way up to the second floor to where Miss Lavinia Fisher was housed. A lot of people have experienced stuff in there. The tour guide did tell us that Lavinia may only speak to females because the jail housed a lot of males, and she's known as Scratch males. So actually, I think we're all going to go in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you guys can walk out for a few minutes and I'll talk to her.
Yeah. We'll all go in there and see if we can make contact with Miss Lavinia Fisher.
Lavinia Fisher and her husband John were the proprietors of the 6 Mile House, named due to its proximity from the town of Charleston. Legend has it that Lavinia would lure unsuspecting guests into the house, serve them a meal, and oleander lace tea, while Lavinia and John would entertain the guests to discover how wealthy they were. Once the guests were in bed, suffering from the effects of the poison tea, legend has it the bed would fall through a trap door in the floor where her husband John would be down below waiting to finish the victims off while Lavinia robbed them. Once the couple were caught, they were brought to the Old City Jail where they were tried and sentenced to death by hanging. John and Lavinia attempted to escape by making a rope out of bed sheets. John was successful in getting out, but the sheets ripped before Lavinia could try. The next day, John was returned to jail. John and Lavinia were given the opportunity to speak with a priest to get their lives right prior to execution. However, Lavinia would have none of it, as she felt the local government would not hang a woman and her pardon would be coming any time. She kept this belief until she was on the gallows. It is said that her final words before the executioner pulled the lever was, "Save your words for others who want them. But if you have a message you want to send to hell, give it to me. I'm carrying it."
We heard this is when you were housed. I think we'll pull up the formula, see if we can shut off.
Okay. I'm record it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll take the recorder.
Oh, that air feels good.
I'll put on the I'll put it on the floor here. Wait. Come here. I'll put it right here maybe. Okay, I'll put it
Now
right
they
here.
said she likes to hang out this direction. Don't you want to point it this direction?
That direction or over here?
This direction.
Because she was saying there's another female that likes to do they hang out in the window.
They're not the same person?
I don't think so.
Two different people.
Okay.
Alright, so what we're going to use right now is the portal app. We've got some pretty good responses from this on other investigations, so we're going to use this and ask them something. Oh, you know what? We need that speaker.
Huh?
The speaker.
What speaker? Oh, just put it next to the recorder. We'll grab it next time we go down. Okay, so that's the portal.
You want to narrate real quick?
No, we're going to go ahead and jump into it. Miss Lavinia, we are here in an area where you were in prison for your crimes.
Is my light still on? No? How'd it go off? Huh?
Oh, they did.
Dead already?
I gotta get the cable.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Hey, bro. Looks like your camera's looking more so at the floor. A little bit better.
Alright, I'll let something. This Lavinia. So we heard that you were jailed here for heinous crimes. I just want to ask, what were you jailed here for?
Lavinia, were you a murderer? Did you ever kill anybody, or were they wrong about you? False?
Were you falsely imprisoned here?
What kind of crimes did you commit? Lavinia, can you walk in front of that box right there and show us? Since my light doesn't work, I can probably cover there. I'll cover you.
Mr. Lincoln, were you in prison here with your husband? Lavinia, I heard your husband tried to escape from the prison, and he was successful in getting out. What did y'all use to try to escape? I heard you like to scratch people in this Lavinia. That's the nails. light bother you? I'll turn the light off.
What? Did you hear that?
What?
I thought I heard Lavinia.
I didn't hear.
I thought I heard legit Lavinia.
What we're going to do right now, I'm going to run and grab a trigger object to see if we can garner a response from Ms. Lavinia. She should recognize it. I'll be right back.
Lavinia. Can you tell me which cell you were in? Were you in this one?
Ms. Lavinia. Ms. Lavinia, I have something that you might recognize. I have a bed sheet. Y'all use this to try to escape? Or y'all use this to escape? Well, John did.
I don't think I was recording on the portal. Sorry.
I'm going to try again. Seems to be no glass on this window. You recording right now?
Yes.
Let's see if we can get the escape for Damon. I'm going to throw his feet out the window. There you go. I brought you a new sheet. The double use to try to escape again. I tied it pretty tight.
Here's your chance.
John was able to do it last time. Let's see if this time he and John can make it out of here. Stay right there.
Go test out.
So what are we currently doing? What are we currently doing?
This is I'm trying to get this light. Oh shoot!
Hi.
Is that you, Miss Lavinia? There's nothing. There's nothing over there.
Hi. Can you wave to us? Hi.
Can you say hi?
You look a little nervous. Can you go over to the bed sheet and test it out? Make sure we tied it tight enough?
Guys, there's nothing over there.
Do you want to walk over there?
No. Well, because your shadow wouldn't even be throwing that.
You don't have a shadow.
That's what I'm saying. There's no shadows over there.
But you want to walk over there? This
Yes.
See?
Walk over there. Go
Can
ahead.
you touch my hand for me?
All right, she's not over there.
Huh?
She's not over there.
Oh, it's this way.
She's over there. It's reverse, remember?
Oh, okay.
She's over there.
I did not know.
All right.
Okay.
Make it move.
Where?
She just moved. You come back this way. Yeah, she was like right there. She was like right there by the window where you're like.
She was right by the window.
She was right by the window then.
How is it not? Was it tight enough?
Is that
That was holding? Huh?
Yeah, because where you're standing,
That's where she was.
that's where she was. She was right by that window.
Can you come back? I'm sorry if I scared you. Why don't you do that and leave me alone here for a minute?
Do what?
Fix what?
Fix this light?
Yeah. And then I'll,
Leave you alone here?
yeah, leave me alone for a few minutes. Let me try to talk to her.
I'm trying to get the light fixed. Okay.
Want me to stationary this camera somewhere?
No, because we'll have this one.
Okay.
We'll have the night vision. What?
Felt a little something?
It's bug.
All right, guys. So we're gonna leave Melissa alone in the cell room where Lavinia was housed. Let's get out of here so Melissa can go ahead and start. Alright guys, so we legitimately got a figure on the Connect SLS cam a second ago. As you can see, Melissa walked over there in that area. The figure disappeared and there was nothing that could have caused that figure to pop up. There was no shadows, there was no pieces of bar or anything that could have caused the shape of that figure. So we believe that might have been Miss Lavinia Fisher. It didn't pop up until we put the blanket in the window as a trigger object. So she's still talking. All right, so I'm gonna take a break.
You're talking too loud. So Lavinia, can you tell me the truth? Were you really a hardened murderer, you and your husband? Lavinia, can you show yourself again to me, please? It's just me in here. I'm sure you weren't as bad as they said you were. Did your husband murder? Was that true? How did you feel when your husband escaped and you didn't get to go? Lavinia, can you come back, please? Or whoever that was, can you come back? We could see you. That was outside. What kind of things went on in here, Lavinia? I know you were probably in a cell in here with other men, many other men, and your husband. Were there times that he was helpless? Did they abuse you or violate you and he had to witness it? I'm sure that would be so hard. I couldn't even imagine. Did you do crimes? I mean, did you steal or hurt people? Are you a thief? Or are you completely innocent? There's a lot of stories and we just want to know your truth. Why don't you go check out that knot for me? Can you make sure that it's tight?
So we're going to continue on around the prison. Actually, I think we might go upstairs and check on Melissa because we left her up there for probably a couple of minutes now. So we're going to walk back up there and see how she's doing. Then we're going to make our way up to the third floor where the dangerous criminals were housed, as well as checking out the crane of pain where criminals were lashed, bruised, beaten. So we're going to check that area out here in a second.
Would you please show yourself to me again? Or whoever that was, will you please show yourself again? We saw you. It did seem like you were a little nervous, but we saw you.
Ms. Lavinia, thank you for the time that you spent with us. Did you get anything else?
No.
On the camp? No?
I didn't.
Okay. Well, thank you for the time that you spent with us. We're going to go ahead and leave this area right now. Alright guys, so it appears that the trigger object that we brought, the blanket, was successful. As you saw, a figure popped up on the Connect SLS camera. Like I said downstairs, there was nothing that could have caused that. There was no shadows over there at the time. There was no bars or pieces of anything that could have been the shape of the human figure. So that was pretty cool. So now what we're going to do, we're going to head into the room where the crane of pain is located.
The crane of pain was a device that was used by the guards to punish and interrogate prisoners. The way it worked, the prisoners' feet were weighted down and their arms were put into the loops. Another guard would pull on the ropes, yanking the prisoner's arms out of socket, at which time the prisoner was whooped with a cat of nine tails that had braided within it rocks, metal, pottery, or glass to cause maximum injuries.
Take a breath.
So I'm going to ask a couple of questions while we're in here. I'm going to use the portal app. Is there anybody in here that wishes to communicate? I heard this room, the crane of pain, y'all used to get tortured and lashed. Is this what y'all used to do? Y'all would cause people, y'all would make people put their hands through these? Yeah. Melissa. Everything okay? Everything okay? I just heard something, right?
I heard it go off. I didn't hear her say anything.
Yes.
Everything good?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I hear you. I'm just trying to.
I'm in the red room now.
Alright, we're over here in the crane of pain.
Okay.
So is this what y'all used to do? Y'all used to make people, used to whoop people in this room? You must have been you must have been a real bad person to get whooped in this room. With that item right there. And that metal. And all other kinds of glass. And all other kinds of items in it. We're gonna head up.
Ooh, you stepped on a step.
The step that my brother's referring to is the 13th step down from the second floor. Prisoners believed that if they stepped on the 13th step on their way to the gallows, their soul was destined for hell.
This is the third floor where the baddest of the baddest guys were housed.
And girls.
And girls. They were housed up here. The wheelchair still was in the same spot from when we took the tour. Is it right on here? That's not good. I'm not going in there. Or there. I can't remember what room she said.
The Red Room was also known as Death Row. Many of Charleston's most violent criminals were housed here. The youngest criminal to be housed here was a 10-year-old boy by the name of Alonzo Small, convicted of murder for a trolley car accident.
Alright, Brandon, we're going to do the outro right here.
Alright.
We need to go to the morgue.
Huh?
We need to go to the morgue.
You did?
No.
Alright, to the morgue.
Want to go to the morgue?
Huh?
It's 2:30.
Yeah, that's fine. I think we take it out. Fine.
Until they kick us out. We're such rebels.
Stop moving.
I hear something breathing.
Sure it wasn't Melissa?
No, because it stopped. I heard it though.
That the
For our last stop on the investigation, our tour guide decided to show us where the gallows used to be. While we were out there, Melissa snapped a couple of photos with her cell phone. After reviewing the photos, we saw something very interesting. Here they are. While at the site of the gallows, there's only 4 of us out there. Myself, who's holding the camera, my brother, who's standing to my left, Melissa, who's holding the K2 in front and took the picture, and the tour guide, whose short you see over on the left. Initially, we were surprised by the photos, but after reviewing the video, we were able to debunk the pictures that Melissa had taken. Earlier that evening, it did in fact rain, causing the ghostly appearance that we see against the still wet walls.
Alright guys, so we just had an awesome night here in the Old City Jail. Heard some interesting stories by our tour guide. Experience.
I think we caught the video on SLS maybe?
Yes, and then we had a recorder going, so we got to review the footage to see if we captured anything. If you heard or saw anything in the video that we did not point out, please comment down below and the time of when you saw it. And if you like our video, please comment, like, and subscribe for more, and share for more videos that we'll be posting in the future. Thanks for hanging out. Y'all have a good one. See ya.